There we go, live everywhere. I should be going broadcasting to lots of different places and checking it out now. Let me just check to see where we are because I need to get the message from the boss to say that she can see us broadcasting. Are we there? 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 We should be. If you're watching us on LinkedIn, my name is Dave Crane, you probably guessed that. We're talking about today the Speakers Leadership Bootcamp, which is on in 2 days' time. And I'm very excited to be sharing that with you because you may not know that it's going to be on. And if you have missed all my posts, then we're here to share with you and answer your questions and tell you why in 2 days' time it's going to be an amazing thing that you need to do now to make sure that you're all up to speed to be incredible when it all comes around to 2023 and you hit the ground running and there's a recession and lots of challenges, but we want to make sure that you're at the top of your game. If you don't know anything about it, then let me know. If you've got any questions, by the way, let me know as well. I will answer all your questions and share everything that you need to know as well. Meanwhile, if you're not sure about the bootcamp, let me bring up to speed. This is it. If you're a decision maker who's worried you're wasting time, missing out on great clients, or even losing money, you can fix it immediately at the Speakers Leadership Bootcamp. I help game changers like you build a personal and business brand that automatically attracts clients who want to invest in you. Imagine waking up and feeling unstoppable because your ideas turn into dollars every time. Book your place on the next Speakers Leadership Bootcamp and discover the future successes you truly deserve right now. So we kick off with this on Monday evening Dubai time, which is 8:30, which in the UK will be about 4:30, and in America, depending where you are, could be any 30. But it doesn't matter because there's going to be questions that you're going to ask about the event, and so I want to share them with you as much as possible. We're broadcasting right now across to Facebook and YouTube and Twitter as well. For now. Don't go there. And so if you've got any questions, then feel free to put them into the comment section and I'll find them and I'll read them out to you. Meanwhile, I'm only going to do this broadcast for about 20 minutes, maximum about 30 minutes, because it is a weekend. And I also know on the weekend, people just want to watch Netflix or go shopping or catch up with their friends or wait for the football to start. Don't go there either. There's so many subjects we can't talk about when I'm going live like this, but I'm always keen to do it. So in my head, I'm going like that and throwing away the key. So, let's start off by talking about the importance of what it is that we're going to be sharing at this event. If you don't know anything about the Speakers Leadership Bootcamp, there's a number of questions that have come through with people, which is, I've already answered what it is by showing you the video. But let's go straight down to the actual flyer for it. The Speakers Leadership Bootcamp, and you can see the details of it there, is Monday the 21st of November, straight through to the 25th, which is a Friday. It's 5 days of learning and it's all geared towards getting you up to speed on a number of different key subjects. So on Monday, we're going on about imposter syndrome and I'm going to teach you how to get over imposter syndrome. For any of you who are thinking, oh my goodness, Dave, well, how can you do that? I've been through it. I went for a number of challenges during a pandemic, and let me explain why that should be. Because all my business disappeared. As a speaker and a host of huge events, traveling around the world and teaching CEOs, decision makers, politicians, and people like that to speak, when there's no need for them to go on to a live stage, suddenly they go, whew, and they don't talk to me. Equally so, I wasn't speaking on live stages, so my livelihood went for about 18 months to 2 years, which is a bit of a challenge because it doesn't matter what you plan. You don't plan for a global pandemic in your business plan. Do you say, right, I'm going to have a 12-month forecast over 2 years and then have a pandemic in that space there? Not at all. So when that happened, obviously, I went live on the podcast and on TV, as much as social media gives you TV, about 200 times during that time. And to drum up business, and it worked, and we created the Industry Icon program, which I'll tell you about a little bit later on. But what I realized was the challenges that I had after that was almost like burnout, because I've been working so hard every day, doing long hours to make sure that everything was up to speed. I didn't realize that a lot of things that from my childhood and my career, and it may sound strange to you, but you'll have your own version of it. For me, it was about systemic racism, microaggressions, that throughout my entire life I've gone, no, don't need it, I'm fine, put it to one side. But then when the pandemic hit and everything went crumbling in, and remember I'm in Dubai, one of the most expensive places in the world, great value by the way, and I'm with a wife, kid, 2 dogs, and car to pay for, and rent, and all these other school fees, and you suddenly go, how are we going to make that work? After your savings have disappeared, which are not normally lined up to do 18 months, you have to revisit everything. And I realized I was carrying baggage, so I looked into imposter syndrome, and I realized what the challenges were, and I've got a brilliant solution, because in case you don't know, I am actually a hypnotherapist, life coach and business coach, and I've been doing that for about 20-25 years. So the first person to heal was myself, and then I realized I could help lots of other people with the same situation. So that's what we're going to be looking at on the first day. Second day is about LinkedIn leadership strategy. And by the way, if you've got any questions on this, please feel free to ask away. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on all this, because I'll help you with as much as possible. As we're doing this, by the way, you can see below, just there, it says www.speakonstage.com/bootcamp. That's how you register to join us. 5 days for only $97. Amazing, huh? I'll tell you about that a little bit more in a few moments' time. So LinkedIn leadership strategy. Why is it important to know your LinkedIn? Well, first of all, we're broadcasting to Facebook. We're broadcasting now to Twitter and also YouTube. There are challenges in the world out there you might not have noticed involving social media bosses and the choices they're making about their platforms, which means that nothing is for certain. I don't know if you remember Vine. Vine used to be one of the most, in fact, what was it called? Friendster. I think it was Friendster. Where people would just go put their social media platforms, hooray, friends of everybody, and then suddenly MySpace before Facebook. So these were very, very popular places, and then they just closed, or they've just disappeared, or people stopped using them. And so if you'd put all your eggs in that basket and you're a massive user, a massive influencer, and they closed overnight, and they damaged and killed a lot of profiles, and of course the business for a lot of people who hadn't spread the word across different platforms, so at least had something else to fall back on where they could start generating business and creating a following that they could convert into finances. So the reason that we look so heavily at the impact that you get from LinkedIn is it's one of the few things that's business to business anyway, but also LinkedIn does a brilliant job of just staying on point. Now, here's what I think may happen. Depending what happens to our friends at Meta and depending what happens to our friends at Twitter, there is a migration to other platforms. I think a lot of people are going to start coming to LinkedIn. So if you haven't started using your LinkedIn properly and you're just using it as a way of maybe, looking for a job or just sniffing out what's going on in the world, which about 60% of people do, you'll be inundated by more content and more users, more influencers than you've ever seen before. So if you then decide, it's getting busy, maybe I should say something, it'll be too late. So get stuck into it now, start getting busy now, start creating that relationship with the outside world now. And that's what we're going to be teaching people how to do on this particular broadcast. So then we look at a messaging map, and you're probably saying, Dave, what is a messaging map? A messaging map is a way that you get your clients to understand who you are, what you do, and what you can deliver for them. So messaging map is really about the challenges that you would have or you would face. Let me just show you a little bit more about this. So we've already talked about the importance of being able to get the imposter syndrome sorted out and LinkedIn strategy. But your messaging map is really about what the pain is that your clients have, who your clients are, and how you're going to fix it. When you get this worked out, then you will have a template, and this is what I'm going to make sure everybody on day 3 has, a template from which they'll be able to instantly then look at this template and create content that they can share with anybody at any time, anywhere. Seriously. So therefore, when they say, right, I'm going to be able to reach a certain target, they'll know the target, they'll know what the target's pain points are and what it is that they're going to have to write. So with every social media post that they make and everything they say on a live stage or everything they write when it comes to creating content or books or podcasts or reaching out as well, and I'll talk about podcasts in a few moments' time, then they'll realize that they actually have all the heavy lifting done. If you're talking about your business and you're doing an elevator pitch and you're talking to somebody in an elevator and you say what you do and they say, right, well, who do you help? And you say anybody. If you've said the word anybody or everybody, then you're not helping anybody because that's too big a group. You really need to know who your avatar is so you can focus on them. And avatars could be a certain age, a certain nationality, a certain political belief. It could be a gender thing. It could be that you look after parents who have got kids that have problems, or new parents who can't sleep. Wherever you are, people with big gardens that they want to fix, you could be a gardener. If you know your avatar and you know their pain points, it becomes easy with a messaging map. Then we get into day 4, and that's all about your personal branding. Now take a look at this when it comes to personal branding. This is me. This is my world. This is all being created to fit in with my own personal brand. So when I use this studio, as you can see, it's a bit like one of those late night TV studios, I think so. And so with that, it's very significantly my particular studio. In the background, you can see the screen. The screen becomes animated in a few moments' time. So from there, you'll be able to see pictures of things that I've been doing and elements of events I've been working on. I can also swap it over to different screens. So for instance, when I'm talking to our Game Changers audience, then I like to be in a coffee shop, just as that comes to life. So this is my coffee shop. So the coffee shop is nice. It's not conducive to saying, look, we're doing something really, really expensive and show busy. This is more relaxed and chilled out. And so there's a number of ways of creating a brand that fits in around you. Now, when you know what your branding is, it's very easy then for people to find you, to know what you represent, your values, your direction. What you can do for them is the most important thing. What's in it for them when they interact with you? If they don't know what it is, then they won't have any interest in working with you. That's why you need to make sure that they're very aware of who you are and what you do. That's your personal brand. And if I was to say about a personal brand, if there's a definition of it, it's really about one thing. What do people say about you when you're not in the room? How do people talk about you when you're not in the room? That's the important thing. So, hello to Leadershio, by the way, and also Roberto. Make sure that you leave comments and say hi, by the way. I'd like to be able to make sure that I'm not ignoring anybody who's there and saying hello too. So if you've got any questions, then feel free to let us know. We're broadcasting across to YouTube and Facebook. So if you're on Facebook and YouTube, then you should be seeing us. But leave comments as well, because I always like to see them. And any questions you have, then we'll be answering and addressing those as we go on. If you just joined us, by the way, tell me where you're broadcasting from. If you're wondering what I'm doing on a Saturday, yeah, I know it's a Saturday, and this is a glass of water with orange in. I am not trying to eat Nemo, okay? No fishy. Okay, so broadcasting, because we've got 2 days to go until the Speakers Leadership Bootcamp, which you can see below me here. Go to there and register and join us. There'll be a very attractive looking group of people joining us on that special day, and it's actually 5 days starting on Monday, and I was sharing with you the calendar of things that we're going through, and I was just about to move on. We talked about your personal brand. The next bit is this: your podcast guest mastery. Why do you need to have a guest mastery, Dave? Why do you need to be good on podcasts? Because I believe that for anybody who's interested in growing their business or becoming more prominent, so if you're in a job, this is just as important as if you're launching a business as a startup or a decision maker. Creating a podcast is a pain. It's a pain. It takes a lot of work, a lot of production. You need to get it right. You need to get the theme right, the introductions right, all those things. And so it takes time, and you might not be ready for that. But if you can define your brand and people know who you are, what you do, and why they should want to interact with you, then what happens next? Well, then you can go onto their podcast. Now, there's about 2 million podcasts out there already on every niche, flavor, subject, you name it. There's somebody somewhere who's doing a subject that you could actually tap into. When you've gone through all the things we've talked about on this particular event, and let me share with you again. Let's go back to the main screen. Okay, so when you go on to the different subjects, you've got, first of all, your imposter syndrome, so you know exactly how to feel good about interacting with the world. Then you've got strategy for LinkedIn, which is what people cross-reference to find out how they can interact with you. Are you genuine? Is it your CV that's on there, or your offer to the world will tell you exactly how to shape it? So when people arrive, they go, wow, that's a person I want to deal with. Here's the truth. I get lots of offers just because people look at my LinkedIn profile. I don't even need to talk to them. They contact me and say, we want to work with you. We've gone through your stuff. So if you like the idea of that happening to you, then you need to make sure that you have a sticky landing page. And that sounds grim, but I don't mean it to be like that. Lots of things for people who are looking for someone like you to go, that's it, yeah, we've got to get this person in. Then when you've got that and the messaging map, you know your clients and you know how to connect with them, and you've got a personal brand that they're going to want to do business with, and the values that you have, the background you have, what's in it for them, then when you're a podcast guest, people will know that. But what makes it even more interesting is when you position yourself as a potential podcast guest, you can do a list spill, it's called, which is when somebody's got an audience that you want to tap into. They will bring you on, you show your expertise, they will ask you lots of questions and just basically make you look good. They don't want to get you onto their podcast and make you look terrible, because that's not the kind of thing that podcasters do. So if you've got any questions, by the way, please feel free to put them into the comments. And I'll be able to, in fact, put any comments on. Tell me where you are calling from. We're going to be doing this for another 5-10 minutes maximum, and then I'm going to disappear, and I'm going to go off and just enjoy I'm going to watch something. I'll probably go and see Black Adam, actually, now I think about it. So any questions you've got, feel free to do that. Remember, the Bootcamp will be covering all this in great detail. An hour every single day to go through all these subjects. Now, there's also a bonus element that I want to share with you, which I think is really important. You can upgrade. You can upgrade to being really special and sit in a one-to-one with a small group. That's a Q&A for VIP. Every night after we've done the main masterclass, there's going to be a group of us staying behind, and you can ask me anything. Feel free to do that. Hello to Claire, by the way. Good to see you joining us. Yes, I know. And it's a weekend. Yes, I know. Just before we say that. So when's it on? It's going to be on. You can see there in the calendar in front of us. It's from Monday through to Friday. You can see how to calculate, how to get on to join us. It's only 97. If you miss an episode, great question, by the way. If you miss an episode, then what do you do next? Well, what you do next is very simple. We have all the videos available for 7 days after the bootcamp. So if you're in a different time zone and you can't join us live, doesn't matter. As soon as you do wake up, or as soon as you do get an opportunity, up to 7 days afterwards, you can then access it and see all the stuff that you missed and still send messages within the group, which is very cool. There's a PDF to follow for everything, by the way. So as we're going through, you may think I talk a lot. I probably do, but you can make notes of all the key relevant bits so you can refer back to them at any given point, and you get to keep that forever and ever and ever. Is it interactive? Completely interactive. In the same way as you can ask questions here, then you can ask questions to me and I'll answer them for you then. Also, if you want to stay for the Q&A session and upgrade, and you're saying, well, what's the cost of upgrading? $20 a day, $100, and you get an extra 5 hours of specific coaching. In fact, we'll even put a hot seat together, a virtual hot seat, because we're in a virtual room. And with the hot seat, what we'll be doing is then give you an opportunity to talk about the challenges that you have in your particular business. Do you want to change jobs? Do you want to get promoted faster? You've done your LinkedIn profile, but nobody's paying attention. You post something and nobody's interested. Or maybe the fact that you're wanting to move to a new location, but you've got your family here. How do I reach out across the world without uprooting and going somewhere else? How do I do a show like this where all I did was press a couple of buttons and suddenly I'm broadcasting to the entire world? How do I do that? All those questions you can do in the Q&A section, which you're going to be doing as a VIP Q&A after each of the masterclasses. Amongst all the different questions that we normally get, why am I paying for it? Why should I pay to come and see you talk, Dave? You talk all the time. I know, but I talk all the time about lots of things. This is specific. This entire event has got one intention in mind, and that intention is to get you to the finishing line. That's all it is. To get you so you can upgrade and get faster than you were before. Now, I mentioned earlier that you get PDFs. So you're going to get PDFs of every single thing. You're going to get a playbook when you join us as well. And the replay is available. That's all free, and it's included in the $97 that you're investing into working with us. But the great thing about it is it's going to really change who you are. So who you are right now might be challenging. So you're saying, right, I like what I do, but I want something else. Why are you charging this money? Well, here's the bottom line. If I don't charge, then you won't appreciate it. If you get something for free, you just go, okay, fine, you'll leave it. If you pay, It's a lesson from you to you. That's why I'm keeping it so low. It's an investment from you to say, I've paid for this, I'm going to do some work with it. It's very different. You can go on YouTube, you can find anything you want to find on YouTube. But this is specific. This is one intention, which is to get you to skyrocket your personal brand, to give you more business opportunities, to make your personal net worth increase. Again, with imposter syndrome, you'll understand why you need to be bigger and better, and you probably are, but you don't think about it that way. But increasing your daily happiness and confidence too, because you've been in that space and you're doing stuff all the time. I mean, this is massively high value for only $97 for the whole week. Well, 5 days. You get weekend off, and so do I. And you also get a certificate of attendance. Why is a certificate very cool? Well, very simply because once you've done all this stuff, if you're applying for jobs or you want to be able to be considered for new positions, once you say that you've studied this stuff, this is like gold dust to any company that wants to have their staff understand what it means to be able to join the group and promote themselves and promote the company. I'll teach you how to do all that stuff. 2023 is crazily uncertain. None of us know what's going to happen. But we do know that if you do this boot camp, you'll be armed with things you've never had before, so you'll be able to deal with it properly, and the certificate of attendance helps you to be able to deal with that. So the question now is, who should attend? What kind of people will benefit from being here? If you're a networker and you want to know how to promote yourself face-to-face with people and have them want to do business with you, then you'll get lots of status skills. And status is what societies forever and anywhere on the planet judge you by. We want to know what's in it for me, but they judge you by your success, by your expertise, and by the dominance of what it is that you do. Once you start creating your personal brand and your LinkedIn profile and get over imposter syndrome, you will convert people very quickly just by talking to them. Also, business owners will find it incredible. Business owners and decision makers who maybe are thinking, I want to step up my game, but I don't want to spend all that time. I don't want to do another MBA. I don't want to do another course. All I want to do is do something that gives them the edge. This is just edge. There's no fat, there's nothing else apart from just getting it right. Okay, diverse groups and backgrounds. Anybody who ever feels that they don't get appreciated properly and wish that they got promoted because other people take an interest, they can't ignore you after this. So everybody of color, of disability, gender, who doesn't feel LGBTQ, I'll put it all right there, LGBTQ plus Z, if you're feeling that people don't appreciate you, with this, they've got no choice. They have to appreciate you or they have to get out of your way. If you're a career climber in a job and you want promotion but you don't know how to do it without putting in 3 years, we'll show you how to do it in 5 days. If you're a teacher or a lecturer or a student and you're thinking, right, either I want to start a side hustle now or I want to be seen when I publish a paper about what it is that I do. I want people to appreciate and work with me, and I want to get headhunted as well, then this will really help for you guys as well. If you're a coach or a mentor and you're out there creating business, and the fact is you get feast and famine, you're working with clients all the time, and that means you're not marketing, and then when you are marketing you've got no clients, so you get money and don't get money. This will help you to ease it along, and you'll understand how to make sure that you've got ongoing income and clients all the time. And also, if you're starting up and you've got a side hustle and you're wondering, well, how can I promote that? How do I get on radars? How do I get people to invest in my company? We'll show you exactly how to do that. This is a QR code for you. All you have to do is click on it. If you're watching it on YouTube or on Facebook or LinkedIn, click on it. If you're watching it on a screen, you can't do that, but you can take a screenshot. If it's on your phone, you can take a screenshot as well. This will take you to www.speakonstage.com/bootcamp. It's only $97 for the entire 5 days. And if you want to upgrade, that's another $100. So you'll get basically 10 hours for $200 of the best content. If you're looking forward to next year, or you're worried about next year, or the recession, or even if you used to work for a social media platform and they laid you off, and you're saying, I've got 3 months worth of money, how do I fix this? This is how you fix it. You start reinventing yourself so you get headhunted by people who are looking for you, because right now they'll choose somebody else. But when you've got this in place, it'll be easier for you to be able to do it. Okay, questions. Will I be doing the boot camp again? No. I won't be doing this boot camp again, ever. Why? Because it changes. This is designed by asking questions actually on LinkedIn and asking questions amongst our Game Changers community. What are the biggest challenges that you face? And so it was all about how to hit the ground running with the shortest amount of time and investment. How can we get it to go? When we do another boot camp in the future, it'll have different subjects and different bits. Each one is unique and they're tailored towards the biggest challenges that we have. So right now, if you're on a job, or you're looking for a job, or you're looking to upgrade yourself, or you're already looking to see how you can do life better, then this is perfect for you. Especially as algorithms change, we've got the latest stuff from a LinkedIn algorithm to share with you about how to really improve the relationship you have with the outside world on an ongoing and permanent basis. Okay, what's my expertise on this? How do I know what I'm talking about? Very good question. The reason I know what I'm talking about is because I've been around for quite some time. Let me share with you. If you don't know who I am, and you're saying, well, who's Dave Crane? This is me.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've hosted over 1,000 events, and there's nothing more exciting or nerve-wracking than getting to introduce one of the best in the business. He's an award-winning international motivational speaker and coach. He's worked with celebrities like James Brown and Bruce Willis.
And I'm Jack Canfield.
And I'm Brian Tracy.
And I'm John Gray.
I'm Jared Robin.
And I'm Perry Marshall.
Hi, and I'm George Regan.
To audiences of over 1 billion people. He's sharing how to become unstoppable in business. It's my honor to introduce to you Dave Crane.
See the importance of getting your branding right. So within 50 seconds there, you knew exactly who I was, what I do, and what I may be able to deliver to you. Now that is tailored to specifically be for when I'm doing speaking gigs or training gigs or team building gigs, when people turn around and say, well, who's Dave Crane? That's Dave Crane. I play that one when I'm doing a Zoom call and people are saying, you know, why is it that we should call you and not somebody else? Well, have a look at this. And so it's pre-made like that. So some people will ask about the fact that it's on quite late. 8:30, Dave, in Dubai. For me, that's really difficult. I'm in Australia. Well, here's a fact, and it's a truth. One of our dear friends is one of our game changers, Rob Ellingham, who won't mind me mentioning him. Or maybe he will, but it's too late. I've said Rob Ellingham. He's in Australia, and he gets up between 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning to attend our Game Changers sessions because they're so beneficial for him. He makes sure he sets his alarm, and so it's really vital. And for my entire career, and you can see me talking about my career there, if you want something, you've got to invest in it and you've got to do something about it. Things don't happen to you. And if you stay inside your comfort zone, it's one of the biggest mistakes you can make. All the good stuff happens outside of your comfort zone. The magic is when you move. Let's put it into real perspective, because I think most people don't seem to understand exactly why that really matters. Your comfort zone is where most people stay. The 2% people who go, you know what, I want something else in my life, they're the people I really am fascinated to meet because I can help them. If you're going to say, oh yeah, well, you know, I've done stuff before and it's never worked out, that's because you didn't do anything with it. This is for go-getters. This is for people, if I'm talking to you, this is resonating, you say, you know what, I've got to be there. What's the worst that's going to happen? I hate Dave. Or that I'd learned something that I've already got, but I've learned a little bit more about doing it again. Your mindset is the bottom line. I mean, here's the thing. We've got, myself and my beautiful wife Aziza, we've got a community called the Game Changers. You may have heard about us, and we've talked about this on several occasions. The Game Changers is our community of big hitters all around the world, and we have them as members of our membership site, and we're going to be growing that. In fact, we'll give you a special offer as part of the gift of being on the Bootcamp. If you join us, you can join the Game Changers, and we'll give you a special rate for doing that, just because you're there, and we love you. When we do our learning to get to the level that we're at, we pay for all the courses, and it's a lot more than we're paying right now, and we stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning. Sometimes they start at 1 o'clock in the morning. And we can turn around and say, you know what, it's a little bit late, or whatever, but then you don't get access to this stuff. Even when we do our own sessions with the Game Changers, we have a special bonus gift that we give the people who attend it, because we can tell how keen they are, and we want to reward them to make sure they get the very best out of the time that we spend together. That's why you do it. And if you're looking at what I do and you're saying, Dave, I would like to do that, there's only one way to find out how to do it, and that's to join us here on the Bootcamp. So with that being said, I can't tell you, I'm so excited about this bootcamp. I'm so excited about working with you. We've got a load of people signed up already. We will close the doors soon, but I want to make sure that I share with you why you need to be there. If you've watched this and you've said, you know what, this isn't really for me, happy days. Don't make it for you. I don't want you to join. I want the people who go, oh, this is exactly what I've been looking for. I wasn't getting promoted, or I've lost my job, or I'm pitching for jobs and nobody's noticing me, or I want to upgrade what it is I'm doing, or I've started a new idea and a new business, I need to get investors to come and join me, or I'm doing my stuff, I go along to networking events, nobody pays any attention, and I really believe I've got something great for everybody, or I give them my card and they never come back to me. All this stuff we will be addressing and showing you how to overcome that and make sure that people do gravitate towards you, you feel differently, and you can grow your business to a higher level than you've ever seen before. We've never done it like this before, and we won't do this one again ever, I promise you. So if you really want to make sure that you catch it while it's hot, it's in 2 days' time. Go to this bit here, and I'm not pointing at my belly button, I'm pointing at this, www.speakonstage.com and bootcamp /bootcamp, or is that forward slash? I think it's / bootcamp, and there you can find all the details. Once again, I'll show you the QR code. If you want to click on this, then you can just go straight to the website itself on Speak On Stage. If you go to speakonstage.com anyway, it will be a pop-up that you'll be able to see, and if you want to make a change, if this resonates with you, if you like what I do, or if you've got any questions what I do, then you can ask. We've got a WhatsApp group, a WhatsApp button on the website. If you've got private stuff you don't want to share, you can ask us there. We get people all day long asking questions there, and I talk to them directly to make sure that we satisfy all their challenges and they can feel fantastic and they can join us after that. For me, it's a no-brainer. I remember all the different things I did throughout my entire history. I remember going back as far as before I got into radio. You can't get into radio until you get into radio. The only way to get into radio is to do hospital radio. That means in a hospital where people are just lying there, ow, 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 then you can do a radio show for them. And so I remember when I was at university studying law, I wanted to be a radio guy, but the only hospital I could go to actually join was, it was in Chelmsford. I think it was Chelmsford Hospital. And that was about 2 hours walking from my house. And I was only given the breakfast show, the early breakfast show, the pre-breakfast show, which started around about 6 o'clock in the morning. So I would get up at about 4 o'clock, I'd get up about 3 o'clock, make myself some breakfast, and walk in the dark to get there in time to do that show. And then I'd walk back. I was a student, I didn't have any money at the time. So I did that for about a year, every single weekend, to get those shows. Why? Because if I didn't do it, I'd never had a chance to do it. And if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have been anywhere in broadcasting. From there, I was able to go away to work on holiday resorts, and I was able to get jobs on radio, and then I was able to work for the BBC, and then I was able to go to Dubai, and then I was able to run my own radio station. And I can take it all the way back to that decision I made right then, that if I don't do it for myself, nobody else is going to help me. Nobody's going to rescue me. Nobody's going to notice me unless I make it so I'm so good at what I do, they can't ignore me. And that's my last gift to you, to think about that. So that's it for me today. I'm going to go and enjoy, if I said going to enjoy Black Adam, you're thinking, if you don't know that's a movie, it's alright, my wife's watching. No, that doesn't help, that makes it even worse. Right, change the subject. I'm going to go and enjoy at the cinema and watch a movie. You have got any questions? Then let me know. I can't undo that. That's the thing about going live. Once it's out in the ether, and it will stay there forever. Go to speakonstage.com /bootcamp, and I'll catch up with you soon. 2 days to go. After that, you'll never get a chance to do this again. It's only $97. I look forward to working with you. So make sure you come and join us at the bootcamp. It will change your life, and it'll be the most exciting thing you've done in a very long time for you and your business and the people you love. All right, that's it for me. Thanks for joining me. Maybe I'll be around. Maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow, or maybe I'll sleep in. We'll find out then. Bye. And that's it for today's podcast. I hope you really enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure having you here with me. If you go to speakonstage.com, everything you need will be there. You get access to my blog, you get past and present podcasts, find out about the events that are upcoming, and also you could join the Game Changers and join our global community, our membership. We're changing the world. Similarly, if you really want to push your brand and get speaking gigs all around the world, then you've got to become an industry icon. Book a session with me, we'll have a chat about it, and you can get our online courses to become an amazing speaker and also position yourself as the very best in your niche. I look forward to catching you soon on another podcast. Meanwhile, have an amazing day.